Alright, so here we are at the end times. I can't believe that there's going to be no more square bases after this. You know, I have all these great movement trays, and all of these, the different size bases. I'm going to have to rebase all my models. I just can't believe that that's a thing. Alright, I'm just joking, folks. So, obviously, if you've seen the post on Warhammer Community today, they're talking about bringing back the old world. And if you are excited about that, you're going to be excited about some things we're going to be doing on the channel. I have a couple gentlemen that have been doing the old world stuff regularly and actually have branched out and are going to be doing a siege battle this weekend. We won't have coverage of that. We might have a few pictures, but posted on our Arctic Horde site on Facebook. But in the future, what we're going to do on the channel is we will start looking at the old world again. As you can see, I have all the books. I went through the heartbreak of the old world going away, just like the rest of you did, I'm sure. I bought into all of the books as the end times was happening and saw Archaon destroy the world. And I gotta admit, I wasn't super sad about it at first because the rules had been so convoluted at the time that AOS was an inevitable thing. It had to happen. I'm happy it did, and we've all been playing it here on the channel. Everybody that plays it loves the game. There are several of us, though, that look back fondly at the old world, just like I'm sure you guys do. I watched Mini Wargaming's reaction to it this morning, and it was pretty funny that they edited out them swearing at the camera. I won't swear at the camera, although I gotta admit my heart sank a little bit when I originally read the article and saw what they were talking about. Because I've spent the last 4 years rebasing all of my fantasy models. I've had models for 30 some years, and they are now all on round bases for the most part. And so when the new stuff comes out, I'm just going to have to see what happens and probably rebase again. And if they have options for movement trays, which we do make here at Arctic Horde Wargaming, we'll probably start designing them pretty quick, I'm guessing, for drop-in of the rounds into a square base, basically for movement trays. So look forward to that on the channel. I'm sure we'll post it on our Facebook and our Instagram there as well. But no salt. I mean, I'm more just a little flabbergasted. I remember thinking back when AOS dropped, how I reacted at that time, and I was excited and bummed, and because if you back up like 10 years from that, there was the Storm of Chaos. And Storm of Chaos, if any of you remember the old world, the Storm of Chaos was a huge battle that happened, and it was global, and so you'd report what you actually had for results of the games, and that would affect the outcome. And so that was awesome. And so when the end times came up and they were talking about doing the end times, I anticipated the same sort of thing happening, like a global campaign at the end, large siege battle like I had taken place in at Phoenix Games here in Minnesota. They had huge fantasy battles, like 40,000 points on each side. It was just insane. It took up most of the store, and it took us an entire day to play. But I anticipated something like that happening with the end times, and so I had been basing up hundreds of models, Marauder models and things like that on square bases, getting ready for that huge battle that never happened because Archaon just went, it's over. So I'm sure some of you had similar experiences, but for me that was the big lead up. I bought each of the books as it progressed through the end times, and each one of them was groundbreaking, and I was thinking, oh wow, this is really going to lead to something, and then it just didn't. It led to AOS, and then AOS came out, and I read the 4-page rules, and I gotta be honest, I was just kind of like, whew, this is a breath of fresh air. 4 pages, everything in there had a reason for it, which I thought was pretty awesome. There wasn't any rules that were left out. It was just very easy to play the game, and I really enjoyed that step back, because before that I had the book, then the army books, and FAQs, and all these piles of books I had to take somewhere every time I played a game. And so just having that 4-page rule book initially was a huge thing. And the only thing that really upset me, if I have to think of something that upset me, was when they released the terrain, the realm gates. Now, knowing what we know now about AOS, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But I'm a terrain guy. I love terrain. And for me, when they released the realm gates, it was a huge deal because they had a limited release on them initially, and it went out of stock and said no longer available. So shortly after that, they released more realm gates, and basically the rest is history. I've been enjoying AOS ever since and bringing as many people into the hobby as I can. So try not to be salty about this thing that's going to be happening for us. It's basically just going to give you another option to play with this fun game that we all love. So that's my reaction, folks. No salt here, and I hope you don't have any either. I know it's going to be tough to figure out what we're going to do from here, but it'll be fine. So just take a deep breath and take it all in, because like I said, it's just going to be more models and more things for you to enjoy in the hobby. Go ahead and comment down below. Try not to be too salty about it, and be kind to the other people that are excited about it. And if you like Warhammer, Warhammer AOS, and the Old World, and 40K, all of those types of things, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and then also hit the bell so you're notified of our upcoming content. We have more stuff uploaded to the channel all the time. Stay tuned for the next show, folks. Square bases. So, as you can see in the studio, we've had this hanging in the corner forever, and this is the Old World as it was. We'll see what they do with it now.